Tonight for dinner, I was in need of some spaghetti sauce, so I made some. I stopped using the jarred sauces a while ago, and initially it was because we were trying to cut back on some of our sodium intake, but it turns out that this was just so much better, and it's still very little effort that I don't think we can ever switch back. I have been making it like this for quite a few years now. It takes a little while, 45 minutes, but it's still cheap, it's still easy, and most of what you're doing is just letting it simmer. This simmered for about 45 minutes total. So after you've browned some ground beef, you put in your tomato sauce, you add in some seasonings. It's just one of the easiest things in the world. This is also a really, really versatile sauce. You can do this with Italian sausage. You can do this with ground turkey or ground chicken. My favorite is ground beef, but you can use literally whatever kind of protein you want. Whatever you would use in your regular spaghetti sauce, you can use in this spaghetti sauce.
All right, the first thing we're gonna do is brown our ground beef. My pan has been heating up for a few minutes now. And when the water beads up like that, you know it's ready. I'm gonna put in a generous amount of olive oil. And then we're gonna go straight in with our ground beef. I am using 85/15. And I'm just gonna start breaking this up, and we're gonna let it brown for a few minutes. This has been browning for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my seasonings. I've got a teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of onion powder, and about a half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. And that is just going to cook here for just a few more minutes until it is cooked all the way through. Our meat is very nicely browned. I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my tomato sauce. For 1 pound of ground beef, I like to add in about 45 ounces of sauce. This is the one that I like in the cardboard box. Now, these are 27 ounces. For some recipes, only use half a box, so I've got another half that I kept in my freezer. If you don't have any of that, you can absolutely just throw in a 15-ounce can or 3 15-ounce cans if that's what you have in your pantry. So we're gonna mix all of this in, and then we're gonna let it sit for a couple minutes, and we'll come back and add our seasonings. All right, now that my sauce is coming together, it's time to add some seasonings. I've got a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, another half teaspoon of salt, a couple teaspoons of some lightly dried Italian herbs. If you are using dried herbs, you can just do about a teaspoon. And then I like to throw in about a teaspoon of sugar. I know a lot of people don't like that, so if you don't like that, just don't do it. And I'm just gonna let this all cook together, and I'm gonna simmer it on low for probably about 30 to 45 minutes. My general rule is the longer it can simmer, the better it's gonna be.
Our spaghetti sauce is done. This has been simmering for about 45 minutes, but it was basically done at the 30-minute mark. This smells so good. It is so thick, and it is going to be absolutely perfect. Let's give this a try. Cheers. And it is perfect. I will be making stuffed shells for this sauce, but Of course, this is going to be fantastic for spaghetti or lasagna, and you can do so many different things with it. Anything you can do with your pre-made jarred spaghetti sauces, you can do with this. You can use Italian sausage instead of ground beef. You can add in some pepperoni or some mozzarella cheese, mix in some ricotta cheese. This is so versatile, and it was so easy to make. It is almost as easy as a pre-made sauce. It takes a little bit longer, and you've got to throw in some seasonings, but other than that, it's very minimal effort for a much better tasting thing.